Hello, today is the anniversary of the day in 1941 when the Nazis herded 20,000 Jews into the ghetto of Vilna, a part of the city of Vilnius in modern-day Lithuania. They'd contrived some excuse to herd them into a ghetto in this way, but it was really their way of controlling the Jews and of course keeping them together as one by one they were picked off and taken off to concentration camps. And so the morale in the ghetto must have been very, very low, and the suffering extreme, shortage of food and facilities of other sorts. So a desperate time for the Jews of that period in that place. One of the survivors tells of how one of the Jews in the ghetto decided to run an embroidery class using whatever materials they could get hold of. But during the embroidery class, she would recite to them. Books were not allowed in the ghetto on pain of death, and anybody caught having a book would be punished immediately. But this teacher had managed to smuggle into the ghetto a copy of Gone with the Wind, and she would spend each night memorizing a chapter, and the next day she would recite that chapter to the members of her class. And when asked why she risked death in order to do this for them, she said, just for 1 hour, they are no longer in the ghetto. They were able to escape to another world through the way she recited that story. And I think escapism, in much less painful situations usually, is an important thing for us too. Of course, it can sometimes not be very helpful. We can do things which help us to forget our struggles, but they can lead into addiction, so that we can become alcoholics or workaholics or gamblers. But there are other ways of escapism which are really creative and which can restore us just temporarily by that little bit of escape from reality before we go back into it. So that, for example, if we can find the energy in the midst of our struggles to read a book or to watch a film or to have a good conversation with a friend or to be creative in some way through some craft or painting that we do, or to do some exercise. These are all ways in which it's very valuable to get out of the immediate stress and struggle of either physical or mental pain. But I think part of the problem is that it's so easy to get so caught up in what's getting us down that we don't remember to force ourselves, because sometimes that's how it feels, to force ourselves to have those moments of escape. But if we can do that, they can be very strengthening and encouraging for us. If they don't give us new energy for coping with whatever's challenging us when we come out of our moment of escape, at the very least they give us an opportunity to look forward to the next time when we will give ourselves a chance to escape through distracting ourselves from the struggle or the pain that we're experiencing. And so I think that example of the embroidery teacher in Vilna can be something which we might all want, in a much less tragic sort of way, probably want to follow.